Hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome to North Eugene High School in Eugene. Yeah, we're on the north side of town. We are getting ready for Roseburg boys basketball for you here tonight on The Score. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in for tonight's broadcast. Great to have you with us. We are waiting for this JV game to wrap up here between Roseburg and North Eugene. Right now, a tie one with just about 3 minutes left to go in that one, so we'll have a bit of an extended pregame show for you here coming up. Here during the pregame show, we'll break down the matchup between these two teams in a non-conference game coming up tonight between the 6A Roseburg Indians and the 5A North Eugene Highlanders. So we'll have that for you here coming up throughout the pregame show. We'll also check in with head coach Jordan Humphreys in the program here tonight. So stick around. We got plenty to discuss as we get ready for tip-off in tonight's matchup. Want to let you know this evening's game is streaming live online at 541radio.com and on our YouTube channel. You can head to YouTube and search for 1490 The Score and be able to find the broadcast there. You can subscribe to it and follow Roseburg High Sports all throughout the school year. We'll be bringing you Roseburg boys and girls basketball here through the winter, maybe even getting a chance to get out there and do a little bit of wrestling on the stream. And then we'll also be checking in with Roseburg baseball during the spring and seeing what other sporting events we can pick up there in the spring season as well to bring you on our video streams. So a lot that's going to be going on, and we want you to be there with us. So subscribe to our 1490 The Score YouTube channel and make sure you hit that little bell for the notifications, and that'll let you know when we're going live so you can watch all of Roseburg High Sports. As we get ready here to get this match underway, right now the Roseburg JV team is currently leading 65-58 on top of North Eugene, so not too bad there. In fact, the JV team trying to stay undefeated on this season. We'll see if they're able to do that here as they've got 2.5 minutes left to play in the JV matchup. Roseburg coming off of their first win on the varsity level. The Roseburg boys picking up a 53-32 win against the North Bend Bulldogs last Friday. Roseburg getting out a bit of a slow start there, but they really amped things up on the defensive side of the ball, and that helped get them to their first win, coming at home in their home opener against the Bulldogs last Friday night. Meanwhile, the North Eugene Highlanders are 1-2. They started out their season in the Wilsonville Invitational, and they finished that out with a couple of losses. They go fall 45-30 against Redmond in the final game from that tournament. And that put them at their 1-2 record here. They're under a rather new coach. Not sure if he started last year or this year, but Blake G taking over for North Eugene. And he was an assistant coach under Bill Wagner, who had been the previous coach here at North Eugene High School. And he takes over with the Highlanders, has them at that 1-2 record so far. They've got a pretty big roster with some good size to it, which is going to be an interesting test for Roseburg tonight. They haven't faced a lot of teams with really big size out there, but you've got a couple of players, 6'4", and a couple of 6'3", 6'8" on the roster as well. So they're going to have some size to try and handle here tonight, as Roseburg, for the most part, their biggest players in at 6'6", and they're going to really have to be stretching themselves out there tonight, and they'll look to see if they can execute their game plan against the Highlanders here on the road. We talked about that with head coach Jordan Humphreys in our pregame interview that we have coming up for you here in just a few moments. So stick around for that conversation coming up here as we get ready for tonight's matchup. Roseburg basketball here on The Score is sponsored by Cascade Community Credit Union. You can belong to Douglas County. Sign up there at Cascade Community Credit Union. Also want to say thanks to DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop. Good Vibration Solutions for home theater and automotive audio. You can feel it at Good Vibes. And by Mahalo Heating and Air Conditioning, you can get 0% financing for 72 months on approved credit now at Mahalo Heating and Air. Getting some back and forth here, and it looks like maybe a little bit of momentum for the North Eugene side as they have cut the deficit down to 4 with 2:09 to play here in the fourth quarter of the JV game. We'll keep you updated on that as we make our way towards tip-off here tonight. We are in Eugene. It was a rainy drive on the way up here, but we're inside. It is fall out there. It is early winter. We're expecting quite the week of weather, but that is why we do the winter sports inside, and I cannot tell you how happy I am about that. As we finish up that fall sports season. Boy, they wrap things up with the 6A football state championships this last weekend. Congratulations to the Central Catholic Rams on winning the 6A state title in football on top of Tualatin. And now it is full on into the winter sports season and the second week of action going on. Roseburg in their fourth game of the year coming up for the North Eugene Highlanders. And we'll talk more about that matchup as we make our way towards tip-off. We'll go ahead and take a 2-minute break here on the pregame show. When we come back, we'll get our word in with head coach Jordan Humphreys as we count down towards tip-off between Roseburg and North Eugene. I'm Joey Keyran. Tonight's game streaming live online at 541radio.com, so check it out there and on our YouTube channel at 1490 The Score. Back with more here on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Get ready to satisfy your dessert cravings with Mountain Mike's new mini churros. These delicious bite-sized churros are the perfect dessert to pair with your favorite Mountain Mike's pizza, made with only the freshest and finest ingredients, dough made fresh daily with 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese, and toppings to the edge. For limited time only, get 16 mini churros for the whole family for only $4.99. Don't wait. Order yours today for dine-in, carry-out, or delivery.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
Back here with more of our pregame here on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM, streaming with video online at 541radio.com. Tonight, the Roseburg boys up in Eugene to take on the North Eugene Highlanders as we get ready for this matchup. Get a chance to catch up with head coach Jordan Humphreys. Coach, guys are coming off of the first win of the season against North Bend back at home. Boy, feels like it's been a little while ago now. It only been a few days ago last Friday, but you guys get the win there at home, back out on the road. Coming away from that, how are you feeling about this team? You guys have been able to get a few practices. How has the season continued to progress for you guys here early on?
Still trying to figure out roles for guys and figure out them gelling together and just playing together more and getting used to each other's tendencies and communication between them. And the more practice we get, game time we get, then the better that's going to get. And trying to get them out of their comfort zone and push them into new roles that they're not used to with the guys leaving from last year and guys stepping up into new leadership roles and figuring out those details.
I know that basketball, you can kind of learn a little bit on the fly in a game, but it's much easier to break things down in practice. How important have these last couple of days been where you guys have been able to kind of focus on practice, not having a game for a couple of days gives you the opportunity to really work on a lot?
Able to hopefully fix, we'll see, some of our defensive weaknesses that we had and identify some of the things offensively that we're trying to do. and improve transition offensive and offensive transition, and then identify our key scorers and help guys figure out who we're trying to get the ball to more often and in what positions we're trying to get them the ball.
And I'm guessing those were probably things that you knew you were going to have to figure out with a group that's kind of inexperienced. Not a lot of guys that are back from last year's team, obviously graduating a big core. These were some of the things that you probably knew you were going to have to do, but with that missed practice time because of your quarantine period and then jumping right into the season, you feel like these are kind of some things you guys have been having to try and figure out a little bit more on the fly than you anticipated?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, always going into a season as a coach, you kind of have a pretty good idea of what guys' roles are, but conveying that to the team and a lot of times just letting them figure it out on their own. Because if you just tell them, then a lot of times they're like, well, that's not what I think. And so they have to figure out some on their own for them to be able to buy into it. And so allowing them some freedom to discover their own roles and discover the roles in the team with a little bit of guidance as we go. And obviously we've tried to shorten up that guidance so that they have a quicker learning curve as we have shorter time to prepare, and I think they're starting to buy into that and see that a little bit more, and we're kind of pushing it more than usual where we sometimes let them find them on their own. We don't have time for that right now.
As you guys get ready for tonight's matchup, North Eugene, I was just looking at their roster, and it was pretty clear that they've got a nice bit of size out there on this North Eugene roster. Kind of thinking about it, I don't really remember exactly how tall some of these past teams that we've played the last two games, but this might be your first big test against some guys that have some serious height advantage. How do you try and attack that here tonight?
Well, first way we try to do it is in transition. Get up and down the floor quick, get a good defensive board, and get our wings out running. And if we got quicker posts, then we'll try to get up the floor before they do and get them tired and get them out of position and get them back on their heels a little bit. And then just different defensive schemes as far as how we're going to guard them can get them out of their comfort zone and put them in different positions. And yeah, we'll see how much the bigs play and how much we can keep them on the bench with our pace of play.
Gotcha there. Coach, good luck out there tonight.
Thank you very much.
That is head coach of the Roseburg boys basketball team, Jordan Humphreys, joining us here in our pregame show as we count down towards tip-off. Still 1 minute left to play, 62 seconds to be exact in the JV game. Congratulations to the Roseburg freshman team. They win tonight 50-47, the final score in that one. And the Roseburg JV team leading right now by 10. They had assessed it looked like maybe a couple of technical foul penalties, I believe, there towards about 2 minutes to go in this ball game. There was North Eugene was shooting free throws with nobody on the free throw line there, so it looked as if they may have been shooting technical fouls. I didn't catch what exactly might have happened in the game, but that allowed North Eugene to get back into it. But Roseburg's gone on a run to stretch it back out now at double-digit lead, 73-63 here as the JV game is 62 seconds away from wrapping up. So we will continue to extend our pregame show just a little bit longer here tonight. Want to say thanks for everybody that might have tuned in for our DC Sports Spotlight program that we had on the radio for you here leading into tonight's game. Had a great show for you with some interviews. We got a chance to talk, replay an interview that I did with Roseburg girls basketball coach Chad Smith, who we got a chance to catch up with him prior to the tip-off to Saturday's game for the Roseburg girls, and we played a couple of his comments in our DC Sports Spotlight program that starts at Wednesday nights at 6 o'clock. And then after that, we talked with a former Roseburg girls basketball player, Jalen Robles, who's now playing for the Umpqua Riverhawks women's basketball team. And we played an interview that I did with her earlier today that we played for you in that program. And that is DC Sports Spotlight. We bring that to you every Wednesday night here on The Score. Usually we go from 6 till 7 o'clock. We've had to preempt it a couple of the last 2 weeks with Roseburg boys basketball on the road starting in that 6 o'clock hour. So we haven't had the full show, but we've gotten a chance to get you at least a partial show. And next week we are looking forward to having the full 60 minutes of DC Sports Spotlight, and we will be back out at Mountain Mike's Pizza there in Roseburg for that one on Wednesday night next week. So come on out and join us at Mountain Mike's Pizza for the all-you-can-eat salad and pizza bar there. It's $9.50 to come on out and get that all-you-can-eat buffet from 5 till 7 at Mountain Mike's Pizza in Roseburg off of West Harvard Avenue, there by the 124 interchange in Roseburg. And you can come on out every Wednesday night from 5 to 7 for the all-you-can-eat buffet. And then we'll be doing DC Sports Spotlight there coming up next Wednesday night. Down to 31 seconds to go here in the JV game as we count down towards tip-off for the Roseburg boys varsity matchup. Roseburg coming in at 1-1 on the season. North Eugene at 1-2. Taking a quick look at what's going on there at Roseburg High School tonight. The Roseburg girls are hosting North Eugene. And in that matchup, at the end of 3 quarters, it is North Eugene leading Roseburg 37-18. North went on a 15-2 run in that third quarter to pull ahead. At halftime, it was a 5-point game. Roseburg was only down 20-15 at the break, but they were able to, North Eugene was able to extend the lead with that 15-2 run there in the third period and get out to a 37-18 advantage in the third quarter. We'll see if Roseburg has a rally in them for that fourth quarter, trailing by 19 heading to the final period at home. Roseburg girls tipped off at 6 o'clock tonight there at Robertson Memorial Gymnasium, looking to try and get their second win of the year. Roseburg boys also trying to get to 2 wins on the season, get back above 500 on the year, coming off of that win against North Bend on Friday. In that matchup, Roseburg got out to a bit of a slow start, but really picked up the defensive effort in the second half. They outscored North Bend 28-15 after halftime. North Bend made 5 3-point shots in the game, and that has been one thing that I continue to think that Roseburg is going to have to continue to try and work on to improve is their 3-point defense, trying to push guys back off the line, although Coach has said a couple of times that those 3-point shots, some of them are coming in transition when teams are breaking the press against them, and so Roseburg hasn't been able to get back and get into defensive position. But they did pretty well against North Bend on Friday, and Roseburg does also need to work on the free throw shot. I got to imagine that Coach Jordan Humphrey brought this up in practice in the last couple of days. They went 12 for 12 at the free throw line in their season opener against Eagle Point. They lost for Roseburg. And then last Friday against North Bend, RHS was 4 for 14 from the free throw stripe. So it didn't go quite their direction in the game against North Bend on Friday from the free throw line. They'll try to clean up that number here going forward. Well, the JV game has wrapped up. 77-64. Your final score, the JV team wins. Freshman win. JV wins. It's now up to the varsity to try and pull off the sweep here at North Eugene High School tonight. They'll take on the Highlanders, who are 1-2 on the year. A team that has some good senior leadership and has some good height on this roster coming into tonight's matchup. We'll see if Roseburg's able to combat that as they take the floor here in just a few moments. We'll go ahead and burn a 2-minute break here. We will extend our pregame show just a little bit. We'll come back and take a look at what else is going on around the Umpqua Basin with some of our high school games here tonight. We'll check in. The Portland Trailblazers in action tonight. We'll find out what they've got going on, and we'll see if we can get an update on what's going on with the UCC Riverhawks as the men's basketball team also in action here this evening as well. 2-minute break. We'll come back with more of the pregame show. I'm Joey Kieran. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll get to tip-off here soon enough. They got 20 minutes up on the board. Oh, boy. It's going to be a little bit of a late start. In fact, we were supposed to be underway 4 minutes ago, so stick around. We've got a little bit of time to kill here together. We'll do it when we come back. 2-minute break. This is Roseburg Boys Basketball on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
We are Douglas County Farmers Co-op, but we're not just for farmers. We serve all residents of Douglas County because we are Douglas County. Stop by today for everything from a tank of gas to a bite to eat anytime you're hungry. Pick up something for yourself, your home, and those you care for. Celebrating 100 years of service, Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Good people, good products, and good advice.
I am a nurse,
a firefighter,
a college student,
a mother,
and I am an American soldier.
I will always be ready
for every storm
and disaster that threatens my community.
I will always be there to protect my neighbors
my family.
and my country.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
Visit nationalguard.com to learn more about part-time service.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
As a doctor, I kept myself safe from COVID by following all the proper protocols. Then I visited my family, and we all got COVID. I debated getting the vaccine since I gained the COVID antibodies. I changed my mind because I learned the antibodies may not offer full protection. But getting the vaccine after COVID can help prevent you from getting sick again. It also lowers your risk of getting someone else sick. So whether you've already had COVID or you're still unvaccinated, please get the vaccine.
Back here at North Eugene High School as we get ready for Roseburg boys basketball tonight here on The Score. Welcome in, everybody. Joey Kieran here with you. An extended pregame show starting about 20 minutes late for the game, it looks like, as the JV game goes a little bit on the long side. But they get the win, 77-64 for the JV team. And the freshmen winning 50-47 tonight. Varsity coming up here in just a little bit, as we welcome you into our broadcast from Eugene. Getting ready for this one as we count down towards the tip-off for this matchup. These two teams, the last time they met was back in the 2019-2020 season, the last full year of basketball in the state of Oregon. Last year, of course, we had that shortened season with the pandemic. So 2 seasons ago, Roseburg played here at North Eugene High School, and it was all North Eugene in that one. The Highlanders lead wire to wire and led by as many as 29 points in that game. Tough one there for the Roseburg boys as they were on the road against the Highlanders. North Eugene in that game hit 8 3-pointers to help keep them in front. Roseburg making just 2 from beyond the perimeter. So a tough one there for Roseburg 2 years ago from North Eugene High School. They'll look for a little bit of a different result for it here tonight, and we'll see if they're able to pull that off. From these rosters, not a lot of returning talent from both of those teams. North Eugene has a couple of guys that did see the floor in that game as sophomores, and that is Jack Lemley, a senior guard at 5'9", came off the bench. He only played in the fourth quarter, and by that point the game was well in hand. And his only action that went into the scorebook was 2 free throws, which he did not make. So Jack Lemley, limited action back in 2019. But Derek Vaughn, who's now a senior 6'3" wing, he did get a pretty good action in that one. He played in all 4 quarters as a sophomore and scored 9 points against Roseburg in that 69-42 win back in 2019. So if anything, and I couldn't find a lot of information out there about North Eugene leading into this game, so don't have a whole scouting report against them. But if Derek Vaughn, as a sophomore, had 9 points against Roseburg and played in all 4 quarters, I got to imagine he's going to be a guy to look out for here tonight for the Highlanders. On their roster, they do have good size. Well, let me first finish this thought. Back in 2019, the only player from Roseburg that saw the floor in that matchup, it was the first year for Jordan Humphreys. Danil Olson was a sophomore, and in his sophomore season, he got into the rotation, and he saw the floor a decent amount throughout that year. Didn't play his junior season for Roseburg, but he, as a sophomore, ended up scoring in that game 10 points against North Eugene. He's the only player on the roster for Roseburg that saw the floor in the varsity matchup in that one. Of course, plenty of guys were probably in on the JV and freshman games that year, but Danil Olson, as a sophomore, the only player currently on the roster for the varsity that was in that game back in 2019. For North Eugene, we've talked a lot about their height, the guys to look at. Roseburg, they've got plenty of guys right around 6 feet, maybe 6'1". Ben Pike, I've been told, is about 6'6" out there. But on the other side for North Eugene, they've got a lot of guys over 6 foot and a lot of guys well over 6 foot. Ethan Sims, a 6'4" junior. Cade Johansson is a 6'8" senior. At 6'3", Bedford Stevens, a senior. Sophomore Jonas Spencer, a 6'3" forward, and then another sophomore at 6'1", Caden Gould. You've got the senior Derek Vaughn at 6'3", junior Ben Kitzhaber at 6'4". So they've got some good size out there for North Eugene. I'm not sure the usage for all of these big guys, but we will definitely be keeping an eye on how Roseburg does against a team that's going to have a height advantage against them here tonight. And that's probably going to be much the case throughout many games this year. Roseburg not overly big when it comes to the height chart. So we will continue to see how that plays itself out for these two teams throughout this matchup. Other things going on here tonight from the NBA. The Portland Trailblazers are on the road against the Golden State Warriors. That one probably just about to get underway, I'd imagine. They were supposed to get started at 7 o'clock, so I got to figure that one's getting close. That's going to be on ESPN. They may be waiting for another game to get done before they get to it. Blazer fans, it may not be pretty tonight. Portland is going to be without a good number of guys in this one. Portland is without Damian Lillard, who's been dealing with an abdominal issue and had some pain shots for that and is hoping to get back out on the floor on Sunday. The Blazers also found out in the last day or so that C.J. McCollum is going to be out and could be out until December 12th, if not longer. He has got a collapsed right lung, a pneumothorax. I think I might have said that right, but don't test me on that one. I do not play a doctor on the radio. So Damian Lillard, C.J. McCollum out. Also, Anthony Simons is out, and they expect him to possibly be out until the 12th. He's dealing with an ankle injury. And Cody Zeller off the bench dealing with a quadricep injury. He's expected to be out for a little while as well. So the Blazers very much short-handed, missing two guys that are starters in the backcourt and one of their prime backups in the backcourt as well. So going to be tough for the Blazers as they face the red-hot Golden State Warriors, who go into this matchup at 20-4. Golden State a 14.5-point favorite in this one. But Steph Curry could have an opportunity to really go off in this one. Back in the newsroom, we were talking about that matchup for the Blazers and thinking that could be one that Steph Curry finds himself at 50 points, possibly, if he's able to really start getting his shot going. So Blazers in action tonight from around the Umpqua Basin in high school sports going on tonight. Of course, we've got Roseburg boys basketball here from North Eugene High School tonight. Then also in boys basketball, Yoncalla at Triangle Lake. That one just tipping off. North Douglas at Coquille, and Glendale hosting Milo Adventist. Earlier today, you had girls basketball. North Douglas at Coquille, Yoncalla at Triangle Lake. Roseburg girls hosting North Eugene, and we'll see. We should probably be getting a final score on that one here in a little bit. And the UCC Riverhawks men's basketball team is in action tonight. They are just getting underway in their contest as the Riverhawks. Let's take a look-see here. I don't have it right in front of me. I'm pulling it up as we speak. They are in action. Their first game in a little bit. They had some time off there. And let's see here. I'm looking at an old baseball score. Let's check out the men's basketball team for the UCC Riverhawks. They are undefeated on the year, and tonight they are at home. I believe they're taking on a club team, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see here. Today is the 8th. They're taking on the Pacific University JV team, and here they are already underway in that one. And it looks like UCC is out to a 21-9 lead in that matchup. Make it 21-11 there in the first half. Umpqua on top of Pacific University JV. All right, we're going to use another timeout here. We'll go ahead and take a 2-minute break. Again, an extended pregame show, so that's why we're breaking down things like UCC basketball, the Blazers, and the rest of our high school schedule. They get a little bit of a late start for Roseburg and North Eugene tonight, but we are just under 9 minutes to go before the start of tonight's contest, so stick with us. We'll go ahead and take another 2-minute break. Counting down to the national anthem and tip off to tonight's ball game. It's Roseburg and North Eugene. We'll take a look more at this matchup when we come back with more of the pregame show here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends. Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
I'm Amelia Snow. I work in the intensive care unit at Mercy Medical Center in Roseburg. I have seen the terrible damage COVID has done to my patients and their families. Without a vaccine, people of all ages can get very sick, even if they were perfectly healthy before they had COVID. The COVID vaccine is safe and effective and will reduce your risk of getting so sick you wind up at Mercy Medical. Get vaccinated, and I won't have to see you in the ICU.
Counting down to the tip-off for tonight's game, Roseburg and North Eugene. It's Joey Keyran here with you. A quick reminder that if you're catching us on the radio here, you could be watching tonight's ball game. We are streaming this action online at 541radio.com. You can also find it on our YouTube channel. That is 1490 The Score on YouTube. You can catch the action there. Subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you don't miss any of the Roseburg High sports that we'll be broadcasting throughout this entire 2021-2022 school year. Let's go ahead and pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Roseburg Boys Basketball on The Score. Roseburg in their road black jerseys here tonight. Roseburg across the chest in orange. The numbers black with the orange trim around it so that we can actually read them. They've got the orange decorative trim down the side of the jerseys. On the other side, for North Eugene, wearing their home white jerseys with the red stripe down the side. They've got a similar look to Roseburg where the jerseys are white and the numbers are the same color. White numbers outlined in a thin red stripe for the North Eugene Highlanders. Not my favorite thing to have the numbers and the jerseys the same color. Makes it a little difficult to read sometimes. The Roseburgs, maybe it's just because they're right in front of me, but I find the black on black with the orange outline easier than the white on white with the red outline, but we'll make our way through here tonight. Getting ready for it on a Wednesday night in the Willamette Valley from North Eugene High School, where they've got their basketball state championship banners hanging across the way from us here at the gym. Quite a few of them, a program that's had plenty of success throughout the years, including, of course, none other than Hall of Famer Danny Ainge a alumnus from this high school. Danny Ainge, who has been mentioned as at least by fans and maybe some of the media, as a top candidate, hopefully for the GM, President of Basketball Operations job for the Portland Trailblazers, as currently not in a role as a basketball front office guy, but Danny Ainge from North Eugene High School, the rich basketball tradition that they've had here at this school. He's from back in my dad's day. My dad, I remember telling me stories about playing football against Danny Ainge, who was just an absolute stud of an athlete for the Highlanders. Three-sport guy, got drafted in the Major League Baseball, but chose to go to basketball, where, of course, he won titles in the NBA and has found himself in the Hall of Fame as well. So definitely a rich tradition in sports here for the North Eugene Highlanders. Counting down to this tip-off for this matchup. Again, if you're just joining us, a little bit of a late start because the JV game ran a bit long. JV winning their game 77-64. The Roseburg freshmen winning 50-47. So now it's up to the varsity to try and pull off the sweep. Checking again on the scoreboard for the Umpqua Riverhawks men's basketball team against Pacific University JV. 32-19 your score at the moment in that matchup. And let's see here if here, individual stats. That's what I'm looking for. There we go. For the Umpqua Riverhawks, leading scorer right now is Aaron Dolney with 10 points. Jake Sampson with 9 on 3 made three-pointers. Talon Valdez with 6. That's kind of cool. Good job, UCC, with their website. It's cool to get the live stats on that one. 33-19 with 10:35 to go in the first half. Umpqua on top of the Pacific University team in tonight's matchup. Portland Trailblazers just about to tip off as well. Taking a look at that one here in just a moment. And they may finally be getting underway. There we go. Yes, they are underway in that one, and a little bit closer than I would have thought. It is still very early. 11-7 your score. Golden State on top of the Portland Trailblazers. And a final from Roseburg, where the girls were hosting at North Eugene. The Highlanders winning in that one 44-29. So the Roseburg girls will fall to 1-4 on the season, as they fall against North Eugene here tonight. Roseburg boys trying to go to 2-1 on the year with a win. North Eugene trying to get back to 500, as we are just about ready to get this one underway after a bit of a lengthy delay with the JV game running long. So we are a bit behind here, just a little more than 20 minutes behind our projected start time. That means you've gotten a lot of me filling airtime with you here. We've got the national anthem, I do believe, coming up, and then we will get you your starting lineups for tonight's game. So stick around for that here coming up as we get you Roseburg basketball coming up from North Eugene High School. This evening's game is sponsored by our friends at Fisher's Hearth and Home, serving Douglas County for over 30 years with the largest selection of wood, gas, pellet, and electric stoves and fireplaces in the area. By Flyaway Travel, you can contact their travel experts for your travel plans, now located at 1445 West Harvard Avenue, or give them a call at 672-5701. And by Roseburg Honda, buying a car can be a hassle, but not at Roseburg Honda, where it's different. Customer satisfaction is their highest priority. Visit Roseburg Honda, where they treat you like family because they are family. Well, the national anthem just about to happen here from North Eugene High School. So we'll take our final 2-minute break and get ready for tip-off here from North Eugene High School. I'm Joey Kieran, and this is Roseburg Boys Basketball on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Get ready to satisfy your dessert cravings with Mountain Mike's new mini churros. These delicious bite-sized churros are the perfect dessert to pair with your favorite Mountain Mike's pizza, made with only the freshest and finest ingredients, dough made fresh daily with 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese, and toppings to the edge. For limited time only, get 16 mini churros for the whole family for only $4.99. Don't wait. Order yours today for dine-in, carry-out, or delivery.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
Welcome you back here to North Eugene High School, where tonight the Roseburg boys take on the North Eugene Highlanders. Joey Kieran here with you. Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups. First for the visiting Roseburg Indians, head coach Jordan Humphrey, starting five. It'll be Colton Marsters, the senior, along with Carter Stedman, a junior, Jace Wilder, a junior, a senior down in the blocks, Ben Pike, and rounding out will be junior Hunter Fullerton. Leading scorer for Roseburg right now, Colton Marsters at 13.5 points a game. Starting five for Blake G., the North Eugene Highlanders head coach. He'll have Devin Anderson, a junior 6'2" wing. Joey Banry, a sophomore 5'9" guard. Ethan Sims, a 6'4" junior wing. Jonas Spencer, a 6'3" sophomore forward. And at a wing position at 6'3", senior Derek Vaughn, your starting five for the Highlanders here tonight. We'll meet in the middle to tip this one off. In the middle, it's going to be, looks like Anderson. Going to go up and tip up against Ben Pike. As we get ready to get this one underway. The tip is won by Pike and Roseburg, and they will be moving right to left on your radio dial. On the far side of the floor with it, Fullerton out to the top to Pike, looking underneath to Wilder, and it's just not there as they work against this man-to-man defense from the Highlanders. Roseburg quickly moving the ball around the perimeter, get it to the far side to Fullerton, enters it down to Wilder, out to the top, Stedman, find an open look for Fullerton. Excuse me, that was Fullerton. It was Marsters on the far side. They've got similar haircuts all of a sudden. Off the mark by Fullerton on the three-point shot for Roseburg, and the rebound came down to the Highlanders. Out to the top, they'll set up their half-court offense. Go to the high post with it. Vaughn dumps it off to the left side, a three, rattles around and spits back out off the mark for Banry. Up the floor comes Roseburg on the one attempt there by North Eugene. Three on the other side from the left corner off the mark for Marsters. And the rebound pulled down by North Eugene. They get out in transition and up the floor. They find the big man for the easy lay-in. It's Ethan Sims. That'll make it a 2-0 game. North Eugene in front. Highlanders take the early edge in the near corner. Stedman out to the left wing to Pike. Pike tries to drive. They kick it around the perimeter. Marsters gets it on the far side. He's going to drive baseline. One-handed pass out to Fullerton. To the top to Stedman. A three. It's good. Carter Stedman will get the first three of the night for either side, and he puts Roseburg on top by one. 3-2 your score. A minute and a half ticked away here in the first quarter. Crossover by Banry. Gets to the free throw line. No look pass to the baseline cutter, but it's off the mark underneath. Missing the shot. Oh, that was a pretty assist attempt, but Derek Vaughn couldn't finish, but on the offensive board and putback attempt, he gets fouled, and he will head to the free throw line. First foul against Roseburg. And that one goes against Jace Wilder. 6:22 to go. First free throw for Vaughn will fall through. Roseburg basketball here from North Eugene High School, sponsored by Tim's Appliance and Mattress at the corner of Lane and South Stevens in Roseburg. 0% financing is always available. Second free throw off the mark by Vaughn, but the rebound pulled down by North Eugene. In the corner with it was Spencer. Out to the top to Banry. Out at the top, ball poked away. Wilder on the floor, diving for it. He gets it. He tries to get it to a teammate. There's a whistle finally. A lot of reaching and grabbing against North Eugene, and I think down on the ground, Ethan Sims going to get called for the foul as Jace Wilder. What an effort by the junior to go to the floor to steal that ball away, able to fight off the defense and hand it to Stedman, who draws that foul. It'll be the first against Sims and against North Eugene. Into the half court, Marsters with it on the far side. Head fake, gets loose, goes to the rim, but he's off the mark right in front. Misses the easy bunny there. I think he wanted to dunk it, then made the late change, and that got him off his mark. Driving in, a kick into the corner after the jump stop in the lane. A three ball open, look at it, off the target for Devin Anderson, and the rebound tipped out of bounds by by Roseburg. North Eugene will keep the possession. 3-2 your score here, 5:42 to go. First quarter, lob out to the top for Vaughn. One dribble, pass it away. Driving baseline is Spencer. Spencer back out to the top to Banry. Marked by Stedman. Crossover, back to his left to the free throw line. Jump stop in the lane. Into the corner. The assist out to the shooter. That is off the mark there for Sims on a three. Offensive board and a putback. That's good for Devin Anderson. 4-3. Back in front goes North Eugene. Roseburg trying to press it up quickly as Daniil Olson into the game. Left-handed hook shot off the mark by Olson. And the rebound pulled down by North Eugene. The Highlanders have been out-rebounding Roseburg, and that's given them multiple looks, and then they've been stopping Roseburg on their side. And a shot off the mark by Sims again, and then Sims on the outlet tips it away from Carter Stedman from behind. He didn't see the defense coming, and it's back into the hand of the Highlanders, leading 5-3 with 4:49 to go here in this first quarter. Driving in the middle, lost the handle on it that was Spencer. He turns it over. Roseburg going to try and go coast to coast. Stedman's shot, he will get it to fall through. It hung on the rim. A fadeaway jumper by Carter Stedman. He's got 5 in the ball game. He ties it up with the bucket at 5 all. And then he will go to the free throw line to try and make it a 1-point lead for Roseburg. That was an acrobatic shot there for Carter Stedman. Baseline from behind the backboard, and he gets it to drop through. The free throw by Stedman, touches the front iron, and then rolls right over. Roseburg on top, 6-5. From some full court pressure after the made basket. Stedman, though, can't keep Banry in front of him. He pushes it up the floor. They break the press and get an easy bunny from the right side. With the bucket is Jonas Spencer. Back in front goes North Eugene, 7-6. 4:18 to play first quarter. Marsters picks up the dribble out at the top. His pass to Olson gets away from him. And up the floor, foul in transition by Roseburg. Foul will stop the action, allow some subs to come in. Coming out of the game is Ethan Sims for the Highlanders, and checking in for him is going to be Ben Kitzhaber. Far sideline, inbounds to Banry in the backcourt. Hitting the midway point here in this second quarter. Around a screen out at the top, dribble with it to the right elbow, handed off by Anderson. Calling for some help. Jonas Spencer drives right side, picks up the dribble, bounce it off to Anderson. Got around the defense and draws some contact as he tried to go up for the lay-in. It's off the mark, but a foul called against Roseburg, the third against the Indians. 2 team fouls against North Eugene, and this is the second on Jace Wilder. At the free throw line, first one off the mark for Devin Anderson. Today's game sponsored by B&D Meats. Whether it's for one or for many, B&D Meats in Winston has you covered. Second free throw coming for Anderson. He's got 2 points in the ball game. His team leading by 1. Well, he wasn't shooting a three, so maybe a lane violation on the first one, and so he got to shoot it again. Ellie gets 3 attempts and makes one of them. And it is an 8-6 ball game. North Eugene in front. A foul on the other side. And it's going to be a foul on the floor. 8-6 your score. 3:47 to play. Roseburg with it on the inbound. It'll be Stedman underneath on the baseline. Out to Micah Mendoza, who was into the game for the first time. And Mendoza, catch and shoot 3 on the inbound. Will bury it and put Roseburg back in front by 1. They lead 9-8. Again, the full court pressure and up the floor. A whistle travel called against North Eugene. That was up the floor to Kitzhaber. He was part of that press break. Got wide open, but shuffled the feet as he tried to attack. And a timeout taken down on the floor by Roseburg. They lead 9-8 here in the first quarter. Let's go ahead and take a break with 3:33 to play. Roseburg in front of North Eugene here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Get ready to satisfy your dessert cravings with Mountain Mike's new mini churros. These delicious bite-sized churros are the perfect dessert to pair with your favorite Mountain Mike's pizza, made with only the freshest and finest ingredients, dough made fresh daily with 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese, and toppings to the edge. For limited time only, get 16 mini churros for the whole family for only $4.99. Don't wait. Order yours today for dine-in, carry-out, or delivery.
Nine to 8 the score. Roseburg in front here from North Eugene High School. Leading scorer right now for the Indians with 6 points in the ball game is Carter Stedman. And on the other side, leading the way for North Eugene with 3 points so far, Devin Anderson. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Yep. All right, my math worked out. First quarter here, 3:33 to play. Roseburg out of the timeout. We'll have the basketball. Ben Pike, Colton Marsters, Carter Stedman, Danil Olson, and Micah Mendoza on the floor for the Tribe. Mendoza going to get it. Charges to the basket. And a foul as he goes right to the left side of the rim. They're going to call this one. A fourth team foul against North Eugene that goes against Devin Anderson. Picks up his first. Inbound from the baseline, out to the top to Olson. 3:28 to go. Olson kicks it into the corner. Stedman picks it up as he gets to the left side of the lane. Nearly had it stolen away. Gets it back. A zone defense here from the Highlanders. Corner 3 by Olson. Back iron, no good. Rebound pulled down by Pike. Indians will get a second look at it here. Olson open for a minute underneath. Now drives into the lane. Gets close. Hits the bucket and the foul. Danil Olson gets his first field goal of the night, stretches it out 11-8. Roseburg in front and a chance to add to the lead at the free throw line. A 3-point margin, the largest of the game so far for Roseburg. Taking a seat will be Ben Kitzhaber, who's already got 2 fouls in this one. He came off the bench and already picking up a quick 2. Checking in for him is Cade Johansson, the 6'8". Olson's free throw for the and one is good. So Roseburg will extend it to their largest lead at 4, 12-8 here in the first quarter. 3:02 to play from North Eugene High School. Bannery brings it up. Some fancy dribbling, but he almost lost a handle on it. The sophomore will pass away to the left side. Opposite side of a screen, Anderson attacks, draws a whistle. And Jordan Humphrey calling, trying to say it was on the floor. And he will not get that call there. The foul is going to be the 4th on Roseburg, and it's the first foul against Colton Marsters. And they're going to try and clean up some sweat down there on the floor. To the free throw line will go Devin Anderson. 1 made free throw there so far, 1 for 2 on his attempts. 2:51 to go here in the first period. First attempt by Anderson is off the mark, hitting the back of the iron and kicking right off. Free throw shooting so far, 2 for 5 from the free throw line for the Highlanders. Make it 3 for 6. 1 for 2 from the line on that trip for Anderson. 12-9 the score. Roseburg quickly in transition. They get it out in front to Ben Pike. He makes the bucket, and he'll put Roseburg out in front by 5, their largest margin. And a timeout taken by North Eugene. As the Highlanders want to talk about it, Roseburg beating them in transition. We'll take a 30-second break as well. Here in the first quarter, Roseburg on top 14-9 against North Eugene on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
Out of the timeout by North Eugene. They'll have the basketball. They bring it up the floor, and a whistle will stop the action as quick as it gets started here in this first quarter. 2:38 to play. Inbound from the far sideline. That was a foul called against Ben Pike that stopped things there. Out to the top. Joey Banry with it. Dribbles to his right side. Working against Stedman. A screen. Got him free. Things opened up. He got to the rim, but the shot tipped by Roseburg off the mark. And in transition, a foul called against North Eugene. Colton Marsters bringing the ball up. That's going to be the 6th-team foul against the Highlanders. 5 against Roseburg. Inbound from the far sideline. That was the first foul called against Derek Vaughn. Marsters gets an open look at a 3. Had plenty of time to set up for it. Couldn't hit it. Pike tried to tip it up. Couldn't get back to the basketball. And so far, a quiet night from Marsters. He is 0 for 3 from the floor. Has not scored. Roseburg's leading scorer. But they are in front, 14-9. At the top, Johansson underneath. Gets it to Vaughn. A head fake. Lost the handle on it. He wanted a call. He doesn't get it. He'll turn it over. Marsters brings it up the floor. Hits the front of the iron. Too short on his finger roll attempt. And it's back into the hands of the Highlanders. Up the floor, Sims with it, left side. Fancy dribbling into the lane, into the corner. Driving baseline, Johansson with the reverse off the mark. Rebound tipped by Olsen, and it's pulled down by Roseburg. Up the floor, Mendoza called for the offensive. Goes right into the chest of Joey Banry and gets called for a player control foul. That'll be the 6th against Roseburg, and I believe the 1st against Mendoza. It is. Roseburg will go to their full court press. Marsters checks out of the game as Boston Williams will come in for the first time tonight. 1:34 to play here in the first quarter. Bannery gets it in motion as he breaks the press. A jumper from the free throw line, no good. Johnson tried to get the rebound, but was colliding with his own player, and a double dribble call against Stedman. Roseburg gives it right back. There's a lot of traffic in the way of Carter Stedman trying to get that ball out in transition, and he gets called for the extra dribble. 14-9 still, your score. Roseburg in front, their largest lead. Inbound pass was tipped. Fight for it, out of bounds. Boston Williams there applying the pressure, but it's out off of Roseburg, stays with the Highlanders. Now down to 1:24 to go in the first quarter. Inbound out to the top. Sims with it. That is Spencer. Crossover, right side at the wing. Hands it off to Sims. Sims finds the baseline cutter. That is Spencer again. Out to the top. Bannery into the corner for Anderson. His 3 too long. Rebound pulled down by Williams. Outlet out to Stedman. Up the floor. Carter out to the top. Williams a straightaway 3. Boston off the mark. Off the right iron. North Eugene will bring it up the floor across the timeline for Banry. Right side, stops at the right elbow. Out to the wing. Head fake. Spencer, pass it away. Johansson right at the top. Will get it on a give and go. He tried to hand it off back to Sims, but the ball tipped away by Ben Pike out of bounds It'll stay with the Highlanders. Inbound from their baseline with 43 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Sims looks left, back to the right, tosses it out to the top to Anderson. Coming to get it, Bannery will get the handoff at the center circle, attacks right side, stutter step, crossover, pass, tipped by Mendoza. Anderson able to collect it. He'll use his dribble, gets to the free throw line, drives in, dumps it off at the last second as he got airborne. He's able to find Jonas Spencer for 2. Into double digits now for the Highlanders, trailing 14-11. Pike gets it to Olsen, a long 2, and that one clanks off, and the rebound tipped out of bounds by Roseburg. An awkward shot by Olsen there. It didn't seem as if he quite got his feet underneath him as he was trying to set up. I think he wanted the 3, but knew he was kind of right on the line. Inbound, 10 seconds to play, first quarter. Olsen tries to steal that away, and it's tipped out of bounds by Danil. Marking against Cade Johansson, the senior at 6'8". With all the hair by Danil Olsen, he almost looks like he could match at 6'8". Out to the top with it. Spencer, one dribble, gets it to Johansson, finds the cutter. Pike tries to steal. Shot no good on the baseline by Sims. Rebound pulled down, and Roseburg will not get a shot off before the end of the first quarter. After 1 quarter of play, it's 14-11. Roseburg in front of North Eugene. We take a 60-second break, come back with the action here from North Eugene High School on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
We are Douglas County Farmers Co-op, but we're not just for farmers. We serve all residents of Douglas County because we are Douglas County. Stop by today for everything from a tank of gas to a bite to eat anytime you're hungry. Pick up something for yourself, your home, and those you care for. Celebrating 100 years of service, Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Good people, good products, and good advice.
Hey there, sports fans. It's Joey Kieran with the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. We're bringing you more local sports content as we change up our weekday sports lineup. We've got the Bald-Faced Truth with John Canzano, noon to 3 every weekday. And then from 4 to 6 is the James Crepia Show. More local sports talk here on Douglas County's home for sports, the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. Well, we start the second quarter, 8 minutes on the board. Roseburg leading 14-11. They held a 5-point lead for much of that second half of the first quarter. But a shot there just before things finished out for North Eugene. Got them back within 3 as they will have the ball to start the second quarter. With the basketball, it is Jack Lemley, the senior guard, will come in, handles the point guard. Some guys off the bench here for North Eugene. Entering it in is Elias McKinnis. Got it down to Anderson, but Anderson is pass stolen away by Roseburg. Marsters back into the game for the Tribe. Gets it to Williams. He drives right into the middle, and it'll be a foul against North Eugene. And this one goes against Derek Vaughn. And it will be shooting foul for Boston Williams. We'll go to the line. Leading scorers in the first quarter for Roseburg, Carter Stedman with 6. For North Eugene, 2 players with 4, Devin Anderson and Jonas Spencer. First free throw off the mark for Williams. His first trip to the free throw line here tonight. Roseburg basketball on the score is sponsored by B&D Meats. Whether it's for one or for many, B&D Meats in Winston has you covered. And tonight's game also sponsored by Barnes Heating and Cooling, your complete energy company. Visit barnesheatingandcooling.com or call them at 541-459-1545. 3-point game. Roseburg in front, trying to stretch it out here. Williams' second free throw, long. Rebound tipped up, and North Eugene will pull it in. So it stays a 3-point game. With it, up the floor, Spencer travels to the left side. He didn't travel, he dribbled to the left side. He gets it back here, drives in, and he just goes right to the rim. Off the glass for 2 for Jonas Spencer. He's got 6 in the ball game, and he makes it a 1-point game, 14-13. Marsters tries to answer. The corner 3 is too long. Rebound comes down to Lemley. Marsters quiet night so far, 0 for 5 from the floor, and a foul now well beyond the basket. And I think both teams now into the bonus. So 17 fouls on either side. That'll be the first, it looks like, against Boston Williams. And to the free throw line will go North Eugene with a chance to try and tie it or take the lead. Shooting free throws will be Lemley. Crowd goes quiet as only the pom-poms from the cheerleaders can be heard, and Lemley's shot off the mark. It stays a 1-point game for Roseburg. Marsters up the floor, head fake, gets to the rim, in the middle, draws the foul. That is going to be Jonas Spencer picking up that one. And that'll be 18 fouls now against the Highlanders. And Colton Marsters will have a chance to get his first points of the night from the free throw line. Might just be get the first shot to drop and see where things go from there. The righty short on the first attempt. Coming out of the game is Jonas Spencer with his 2 fouls. Back into the game comes Ben Kitzhaber. Second free throw, Marsters, nothing but nylon. He'll hit 1 out of 2. Puts it back to a 2-point lead for Roseburg, 15-13. Up the floor, Vaughn to Kitzhaber, drives in the lane, out to Anderson, steps around Marsters, steps around Keegan Cleary, who's come into the game, but he missed the shot, got his own rebound, into the corner. The 3 is good for Vaughn. And Derek Vaughn will get his first field goal of the night, and he puts North Eugene back in front, 16-15. 6:35 to play here in the first half. First lead for North Eugene since early in the game when they were up 2-0. Keegan Cleary has come into the game. Cleary, Williams, Pike as they toss it over the top of the defense, and a travel, no. I thought maybe a travel. One official, I think, is calling for a foul, and they are going to call a travel. Pike needed to get the ball on the floor, and instead he just took his steps and tried to move around the defender. Carter Stedman will check back into the game. So you got Mendoza, Williams, Stedman, Marsters, and Pike on the floor for Roseburg. Inbound into the backcourt for Lemley. He'll work against Stedman. Lemley, Anderson, Vaughn, Kitzhaber, and McInnes on the floor for North Eugene. Vaughn pass it away to Anderson, left wing, drives baseline, airborne, too strong on the lay-in off the glass. And Roseburg down with the defensive board. They've got numbers, 5-on-4, and that was 4-on-4. Both Marsters and Anderson late, trying to drive into the middle. Stedman has the ball tipped out of his hands, out of bounds. It stays with Roseburg. And back in Ethan Sims for Derek Anderson. Stedman from the baseline to Mendoza. Working against Vaughn, crossover, pass into the corner. Stedman gets it. Defender ended up on the ground. He'll dribble it back out to the top between the circles. He retreats out to the times line. Right-handed dribble. Shimmy shake, pass off to Mendoza. Mendoza, stutter step into the corner. Stedman a 3, looks on target, but it's just off as it rims out. And Stedman 1 for 2 from behind the arc now. Still a 1-point lead for North Eugene, 16-15. Sims gets baseline, makes the pass around the defense, and Vaughn is there to get the easy weak side bucket. He's got 5 quick points for North Eugene, and the Highlanders on top by 3, their largest lead. Driving left side, awkward shot, just a bit short on the left side of the glass for Colton Marsters. And on the other way we go, North Eugene with it, trying to continue this second quarter run that they have had. Right now, outscoring Roseburg 7-1. Weak side pass again, and Kitzhaber gets the easy baseline runner. It's out to a 20-15 lead. Other way we go, offensive called against Micah Mendoza. And it is all North Eugene here in the second quarter, 9-1 the run, and Roseburg's going to take a timeout to talk about it. Mendoza with the offensive foul gives it back into the hands of North Eugene, I do believe was the call. Yeah, it is. They put it on the board now. 2 fouls against Mendoza. Timeout down on the floor with 4:52 to play in the second quarter. We'll take a 30-second break here on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. Sports fans, it's Joey Kieran with the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. We're bringing you more local sports content as we change up our weekday sports lineup. We've got the Bald-Faced Truth with John Canzano, noon to 3 every weekday. And then from 4 to 6 is the James Crepia Show. More local sports talk here on Douglas County's Home for Sports, the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. Here from North Eugene High School, Joey Kieran with you. First half action tonight is sponsored by Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair. Are you ready to go where life takes you? And by Dr. Lanson Randall, open and accepting patients. So give them a call at 541-378-6694. 9-1 run here to start out the second quarter for North Eugene, and the Highlanders on top, 20-15, overcoming a 14-11 deficit at the end of the first period. It was an offensive foul against Micah Mendoza. 8 team fouls for both sides. North Eugene will have the basketball. Full length of the floor to go. 4:52 to play here in the first half. Ethan Sims gets it on the inbound. He'll easily work it into the half court. Lemley will come and get it out between the circles, working against Boston Williams. Retreats to the near sideline, gets to the baseline, airborne, a little short, as there to help out with the defense was Danil Olson. Up the floor comes Colton Marsters, a spin move. He got contacted at 360, put up a shot before he came down. He was off the mark, got his own rebound, but misses on the putback. And up the floor, defensive pressure by Stedman. And losing the basketball was Lemley. He trips his way out of bounds and turns the ball back over to Roseburg. Dangerous one there. He goes stumbling into the doorway here at North Eugene High School. And that could have been bad if he had ended up on the door frame there. Coming out of the game for North Eugene is Elias McInnes, the sophomore. Back into the game will come Joey Banry. Danil Olson has it out at the top for Roseburg. Into the lane, and he can't quite finish it. Boy, Roseburg's missing a lot of shots real close to the rim. They haven't been easy, but they've been close to the rim. A three from the left side by Sims, off the mark. Rebound long out for Roseburg. Marsters one-on-one. He goes right to the rack, and Colton Marsters finally gets his first points of the ball game from a field goal. He's got 3 with 1 made free throw, and he cuts it down to a 3-point game, 20-17. 3:45 to play. Driving in, stumble, the pass out by Banry, and now out to Lemley, and Lemley off the mark with a 3-point shot. Roseburg gets the rebound. Some good defense there. Marsters up the floor to Stedman. Stedman, shimmy shake, gets into the middle. A lot of traffic, and Carter Stedman off the mark with an easy rebound pulled down by the Highlanders. Up the floor, Lemley, kind of a wild pass attempt. Gets it back, nearly lost it into the middle. He cradled it in, and his shot blocked by Marsters. Up the floor in the outlet. Mendoza will lay it in as we've got a frantic pace going on here. Back and forth. It's a 1-point game, 20-19. Roseburg back in this one. Kick it back out. Lemley will get it to Banry to reset. Behind the back dribble. Looks for the baseline cutter, not there. Anderson will come to get it. Left side of the lane. Drives against Marsters. Pulls up for the jumper from 8 feet off the mark. The rebound tipped back to him, though. And North Eugene will get a second look. Banry behind the back dribble. Works against Stedman. Drives in. Right side of the lane. Kicks it out to Kitzhaber. Kitzhaber pass out to Anderson. Marsters breaking away. He'll lay it in right over the front of the iron. An easy quick 2 there. And just like that, Roseburg on a 6-0 run. Back in front. 21-20. What a ball game we've got going on here. Back and forth from North Eugene High School. Timeout on the floor. We'll take a 30-second break. This is Roseburg basketball on 541radio.com and on the score. 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Amelia Snow. I work in the intensive care unit at Mercy Medical Center in Roseburg. I have seen the terrible damage COVID has done to my patients and their families. Without a vaccine, people of all ages can get very sick, even if they were perfectly healthy before they had COVID. The COVID vaccine is safe and effective and will reduce your risk of getting so sick you wind up at Mercy Medical. Get vaccinated, and I won't have to see you in the ICU.
2:39 to play here in this first half from North Eugene High School. Joey Kieran here with you. 21-20. Roseburg has fought their way back in front against North Eugene. The Highlanders starting out this second quarter on what was a 9-1 run. They led 20-15. After a timeout, though, Roseburg responds with a 6-0 run to regain the edge. North Eugene with it. Ethan Sims will bring it up the timeline, working against Mendoza, dribbles to the right block, picks it up there, pass out to the top to Banry. Marked by Stedman, backs his way out to the midcourt stripe, dribble left side, stops straight away, and dribbles back out. Stedman doing a nice job applying that defensive pressure against a pretty good ball handler here in the sophomore Banry. Down to 2:15 to play. Sims a three as he got the defender off of him, and underneath a fight for the rebound. And that is Hunter Fullerton that rips it down and draws the foul, and he'll dribble to the other side of the floor for a 1-and-1 opportunity. So to the free throw line will go Hunter Fullerton. Fullerton with a missed three-point shot in this game, his only attempt so far. We have not seen Jace Wilder much. He picked up 2 quick fouls, played some really tough defense early on. But we haven't seen him after picking up those 2 fouls, so he's been on the bench resting and staying out of foul trouble. First one rattles through for Hunter Fullerton. Second one also is good. Couple of free throws made for Fullerton, makes it a 3-point game, 23-20. Roseburg in front. Sims across the timeline with the behind-the-back dribble, working against Mendoza to his right, picks it up at the elbow, finds the cutter baseline. Anderson step around the defense, but he's too strong from right in front of the rim. Fight for the rebound underneath, and a jump ball is called. I don't know which way the possession arrow. It's Roseburg that has the possession arrow in their favor. And Roseburg had a lot of missed bunnies from right in front of the rim, and now North Eugene having their go at it with a number of misses from right in front of the bucket. Fullerton gets it on the far side in the corner. Bounce underneath. Wanted to get it to Mendoza. The pass off the mark and into the hands of the Highlanders. Up with it, Banry at the top. Crossover to his right. Underhand pitch to Sims. Sims, underhand pitch to Kitzhaber. To the top, gets it to Anderson. Working against Marsters, crossover to the free throw line, jump stop, ball tipped out of his hands, regains his dribble. He'll dribble left side, right into the chest of Kitzhaber. A lot of congestion there. Into the corner, Vaughn, right near on the baseline, gets trapped a bit, pass it away out to the top. Sims with it against Olsen to the free throw line, got bumped, and he will head to the free throw line for 2. Ethan Sims took it in and got a lot of contact, got bumped from behind. I'll see who the foul is called against. Looks like they call that against Marsters. I thought it might have been against Daniil Olsen. To the free throw stripe goes Sims. He's got 2 points in the game. First free throws for him, and he hits the first. Cuts it down to a 2-point ball game. Elias McInnes ready to check in for the shooter after the next free throw. And he will not get the chance as it rattles out for Sims. Roseburg down with the rebound. 2-point lead, and a carry is going to be the call. Marsters, a little bit of a hard dribble, tried to plead his case that, no, it was just a high dribble. It wasn't a carry. Now the substitution will come in for Sims as McInnes checks back in. So turnover by Roseburg with 1:11 to play in the first half. Banry gets it in the backcourt. Will bring it up the floor against Stedman. Crossover left side, free throw, finds the open man on the baseline, and that is Derek Vaughn for an easy 2, and Roseburg's defense has not been able to stop that play. Tie ball game, 23-all. Fullerton tries to hit the 3 to put Roseburg back in front, and he does. Nothing but nylon. It splashes through from the left wing. 45 seconds to play. Roseburg in front, 26-23. Gets open in the middle and just rolls off the front of the iron for Banry. But the rebound stays with the Highlanders. Anderson out to the top. Kitzhaber gets it back after passing it away. He lobs into the corner, and nobody is there. He wanted to get it to Anderson, but Anderson cut into the hoop out of position, goes through his hands, and nobody in the corner to get it. And Roseburg gets it back with 29 seconds to play, first half. Leading by 3. Roseburg's led by as many as 5. On the other side, so is North Eugene. Around a screen, Fullerton to the far side to Stedman. Stedman dribbles to the free throw line, out to Marsters. 6 feet behind the arc. He'll get it back on the left wing. Dribbles left side, gets to the baseline. He'll get it to roll over the rim and fall through. 7 points here in the second quarter for Marsters. A half-court heave is off the mark by Derek Vaughn. And Roseburg will go into the halftime break leading 28-23. That is your score. Roseburg back on top by 5. They withstood the run by North Eugene to start the second quarter, and they go into the break up by as many as they were in the first quarter of this ball game. It is 28-23 at the halftime break. Roseburg in front of North Eugene, trying to win back-to-back games for the first time this season. We'll come back after a 2-minute break. This is Roseburg basketball on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends. Yeah! Be great.
Participate. Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
I'm Amelia Snow. I work in the intensive care unit at Mercy Medical Center in Roseburg. I have seen the terrible damage COVID has done to my patients and their families. Without a vaccine, people of all ages can get very sick, even if they were perfectly healthy before they had COVID. The COVID vaccine is safe and effective and will reduce your risk of getting so sick you wind up at Mercy Medical. Get vaccinated, and I won't have to see you in the ICU.
At halftime, your score 28-23. The Roseburg Indians in front of the North Eugene Highlanders. Joey Keyran here with you, taking a look at our first half of action from North Eugene High School. Roseburg fell behind. It was 2-0 early on for North Eugene, and then Roseburg able to find their run just a little bit. They would take as much as a 5-point lead in the first quarter, leading 14-9 for much of the final couple of minutes of that first period. But at the end of one, it was 14-11, a 3-point lead. Roseburg on top of North Eugene. But the Highlanders would go on a big run, 9-1 run to start out the second quarter, to make it 20-15. But after that, Roseburg responded with a 6-0 run to get back in front 21-20. And they would actually finish out that second quarter on what would be a 13-3 run to finish out the second period and lead 28-23 here at the halftime break. Taking a look at scoring from the first half. First for the visiting Roseburg Indians, leading the way with 7 points. All coming in the second quarter is Colton Marsters. 7 for him. 6 points for Carter Stedman. You got 5 points for Micah Mendoza and for Hunter Fullerton. Fullerton scoring all 5 of his in the second quarter. 3 points for Danil Olson. 2 points for Ben Pike. On the other side, leading the way in scoring with 8 points is Derek Vaughn. He scores 7 in the second quarter. 6 points for Jonas Spencer in the ball game. 4 points for Devin Anderson. 3 points for Ethan Sims. and 2 points in the ball game for Ben Kitzhaber. And that is your scores here from the first half of our ball game. We'll take another 2-minute break. When we come back, we'll take a look at some other scores from around the Umpqua Basin. We'll check in with the UCC men's basketball team to get you an update there. The Blazers as well. It's the halftime break. Stick around. We've got more coming up for you. And make sure you stick around for the postgame show where we will name our Mountain Mike's Pizza player of the game. Mountain Mike's Pizza, pizza the way it ought to be. Back after a 2-minute break here at halftime. It's Roseburg 28-23 on top of North Eugene on 541radio.com and on the score 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Get ready to satisfy your dessert cravings with Mountain Mike's new mini churros. These delicious bite-sized churros are the perfect dessert to pair with your favorite Mountain Mike's pizza, made with only the freshest and finest ingredients, dough made fresh daily with 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese, and toppings to the edge. For limited time only, get 16 mini churros for the whole family for only $4.99. Don't wait. Order yours today for dine-in, carry-out, or delivery.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
Gotcha. Welcome back to North Eugene High School for tonight's Roseburg boys basketball on the score. Before we get into our look at the scoreboard, let's go ahead and pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Roseburg basketball on the score. At the break, Roseburg's leading 28-23. Taking a look at what's been going on. The Roseburg girls tonight were at home against North Eugene, and the North Eugene girls win 44-29 this evening. And there in the Umpqua Basin, the Umpqua men's basketball team looking to stay perfect on the season. They are midway through on that second half of that ball game against Pacific University, and it is 92-53. Umpqua Riverhawks men in front of Pacific University's JV team, and leading the way scoring for the Riverhawks in that one with 18 points is Jake Sampson, 6 and 9 from behind the arc. Robbie Moore chipping in 16, Talon Valdez with 14, Aaron Dolney with 13, and Jaden Schwab with 12. That's all your scorers in double figures for the Umpqua men. And checking in real quick with the Portland Trailblazers here from tonight. They are without Damian Lillard, without C.J. McCollum, without Anthony Simons, no Cody Zeller as well. And they're taking on the red-hot Golden State Warriors. And this one on the road for the Blazers, trying to end a 3-game losing streak. They've lost 6 of their last 7. And at halftime, it's actually close, 47-45. The Warriors leading by 2. We'll go ahead and take our final break of the halftime show. Roseburg leading 28-23. Second half coming up when we return on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
North Eugene will start with the basketball, trailing by 5 as we begin the third quarter of tonight's ball game. Joey Kieran here with you as we get the third quarter started. North Eugene moving right to left on your radio dial in their home whites. Getting to the baseline is Derek Vaughn, and his shot drawing a foul to start things off here in the second half. It'll be the first team foul against Roseburg. It'll be an inbound from the baseline. That one going against Hunter Fullerton. Corner 3 from the near side. Off the mark for Ethan Sims. And the rebound pulled down by Roseburg. Nearly stolen away by Vaughn in the backcourt. Stedman gets it away. Olsen at the top. Going to drive in. A runner. He gets the finger roll. Daniil Olsen 4-2, and Roseburg will stretch it out to a 7-point lead, their largest of the ball game. 30-23 your score. Vaughn crossover dribble, cradles it, gets in, and he'll take on some good contact. Goes down hard, grabbing his left leg. He comes up a little bit in some pain. He'll rub it out though, and he will head to the free throw line for a chance at 2 from the stripe. For Roseburg to start the second half, you've got Colton Marsters, Carter Stedman, Hunter Fullerton, Daniil Olsen, and Jace Wilder out there on the floor to start. It's the first one for Vaughn will go through. Out there for North Eugene, Devin Anderson, Derek Vaughn, Jonas Spencer, Ethan Sims, and Joey Banry, your starters in the second half of your original starting 5 for North Eugene, starting with the basketball here in the second half. Ball got tipped out of bounds. Derek Vaughn can't believe that he was the last one to touch it. Roseburg keeps the basketball. Inbound goes to Marsters. Marsters had it tipped out of his hands. It goes to Stedman. Stedman feeds it back into Wilder. Turnaround jumper. He is too strong as that one ricochets off the glass. In transition, stepping out of bounds. Anderson will turn it over. They tried to feed him down floor, and it was too far out. He tried to save it back in, but steps on the baseline. 6:56 and counting here in the third quarter. Stedman brings it up for Roseburg. Pass left side. Sims working against Marsters. Out to the top to Wilder. Wilder. Fullerton going to take it on a deep 3, and it clanks off the left iron. No good. Fullerton 1 for 3 from behind the arc. Breaking the press. North Eugene gets out in front. A kick out to Sims for a 3. No good on the long rebound. Pulled down by Wilder. Now 0 for 5 behind the arc for Sims. On the other side, racing to the rim was Carter Stedman and gets it knocked out of his hands, and it stays with the Tribe. 6:27 to play. Roseburg leading by 5, 30-25. Inbound goes to Fullerton. Catch and shoot. Nope. He goes a head fake. Pulls up for the 2, and it was just off the mark. Pulled down by North Eugene. Fullerton coming out shooting pretty early, like it. Into the lane. Banry hands it off, driving right side. Spencer doesn't get it to fall. He yells at the basketball as it falls off the rim. Roseburg in transition, trying to push it up the floor quickly, but the skip pass out in front, too far for Colton Marsters, and out of bounds. Roseburg turns it back over. Both these teams have really been trying to push the pace, and in the process, we've had a number of turnovers by both sides. Up the floor quickly, Vaughn gets it left corner, hands it off to Sims, who dribbles it off his foot and out of bounds. Roseburg will try to push it quickly up the floor. Fullerton tries to enter it into Daniil Olson, and that ball kicked out of bounds. 5:54 here in the third quarter. So far, not a lot of scoring either side. Both teams with just 2 points. Stedman will lob it in, goes through the hands of Wilder, but tracking it down before the midcourt stripe is Daniil Olson. Stedman gets it between the circles, working against Bannery. Pass left side to Marsters. Marsters drives left side, gets to the rim, off the glass, 4-2. Colton Marsters gets to 9 points in the ballgame. Roseburg leading 32-25. And on the other side, Derek Vaughn will answer with another quick 2. And he cuts it back to a 5-point game. Timeout down on the floor, taken by North Eugene. We'll take a 30-second break and continue the action in the third quarter on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
(34-27) our score. A bucket for Roseburg out of the timeout. And now a whistle is going to stop play. A foul called against Roseburg is going to send North Eugene's Ethan Sims to the free throw line. First one for Sims is good. Roseburg basketball on the Score this season, sponsored by Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County, and by DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop. 1-2 at the line for Sims. A rebound tipped out. It stays with North Eugene. The Highlanders will get it back. Roseburg leading 34-28. And now quickly in, Bannery will get a nifty little underneath scoop shot for 2. Makes it a 4-point game, 34-30. Roseburg in front, but they've turned it over a couple of times here on their last few possessions down here. They try. Stedman tries to call Marsters to go underneath. They reset the offense. A screen by Mendoza. Pass out to Olson for a 3. He had been spotting up, but his shot just won't fall. Olson 0 for 2 from behind the arc. Up the floor quickly. Anderson gets hit in the face by Olson and will head to the free throw line. His scoop shot hits the iron and clinks off. So he won't get the 3-point opportunity, but he does get a chance to cut it down to a 1-possession game. First shot, though, does not fall for Anderson. He has been a 50% shooter throughout the night, so we'll see what he does on the second. Tonight's game brought to you by Good Vibration Solutions. For home theater and automotive audio, you can feel it at Good Vibes. Second one does rattle its way through. So 50% continues to be the case for Devin Anderson at the free throw line. Makes it a 3-point game, 34-31. And on the other side, a foul call is Roseburg attacking the rim. And that one's going to go against Jonas Spencer, I believe his third. It is. 4 team fouls against Roseburg. 1 against North Eugene. Daniil Olson at the free throw line for the 2 shots. He'll easily put the first one through. Snaps a little bit of a run there by North Eugene. Second free throw off the mark, a little too strong. A rebound pulled down by the Highlanders. 35-31 your score. 4-point game, 4:11 to play in the third quarter. Pass to the far side, Sims. Gets it back out to Bannery. Driving right side, nearly traveled, but he kept his foot down. Pass tipped out of bounds by Mendoza as he closed quickly on a pass intended for Jonas Spencer. Mendoza will allow Roseburg's defense a chance to reset here as the inbound pass will come from right in front of the bench for the Highlanders. Sims looking for the cutter, gets it to Vaughn. Vaughn hands it back to Sims. He tries to force his way between two defenders and will get called for the offensive. Sims picking up the foul. Second team foul for the Highlanders and the third foul against Ethan Sims. Up the floor, Stedman to Marsters. Marsters back out, step back three, just a bit short. Rebound right to Derek Vaughn. Marsters 0 for 4 now from behind the arc. 35-31 your score. Bannery, left-handed dribble, tried to go with the no-look wraparound pass intended underneath to Jonas Spencer. I don't think Spencer was even considering he would get an opportunity to get the basketball in that position. Stedman will bring it up. Looking to the right, gets it to Marsters. Marsters gets to the edge, but has it tipped out from behind. Back into the hands for North Eugene. Spencer up the floor, finds Anderson going right to the rim, and his shot just off the mark. With the left-handed lay-in. On the other side, Mendoza going coast to coast. He gets the bucket to fall, and he goes to the line for the three-point play and a chance to stretch it back to a 7-point lead. 37-31 your score. Roseburg led by 7 here in this third quarter after the first bucket of the period, and now they've got a chance to stretch it back out to that 7-point margin. Ethan Sims will head to the bench, and Jonas Spencer as well. Spencer picks up his fourth. Frustrated North Eugene players with the looks on their faces. Mendoza, left-handed shot goes through from the free throw line. Micah Mendoza having an efficient night. He is 3 for 3 from the floor, 1 of 1 from the stripe. He stretches it back out to a 7-point lead. 38-31. Pass near side, Anderson jab step left, drives through, kick out to the far side. With it, Bannery from the right wing, stops at the right elbow, spin move back to Anderson, drives in, goes airborne, straight up was Williams. He had contact, but Anderson doesn't get the whistle he wanted. Up the floor, Stedman to the free throw line, drives in, nearly got caught in the air, kick out goes to Marsters. He drives in, gets airborne, he rattles one through. Colton Marsters, 4 in the quarter, and a chance to make it 5 as he goes to the stripe for the and 1, and it's a 9-point lead. Roseburg in front by their largest margin at 40-31. North Eugene had come in averaging 41.3 points a game, giving up 51. Roseburg 50.5 points a game and giving up 46.5 as Marsters hits the and 1 to make it a 10-point game. Largest margin of the night for Roseburg. Roseburg over the 40-point margin. Across the timeline comes Bannery as fancy dribbling almost tripped himself up as he lost his footing. Hands it off to Sims, looking baseline. The cutter not there. Now finds the weak side cutter from the left side. Anderson lost the handle, got it back, put up a shot, and it falls off. Down with it is Pike, gets it to Marsters. Marsters from the left side, tries to finish with the right hand, but will be called for the offensive. Gives it back to North Eugene. 10-point game here in the third quarter with 2:20 to play. And the Highlanders back trying to stop this run by Roseburg. Right now the Indians on a 13-8 advantage in the third quarter. Full court pressure being applied. Bannery's going to work against Stedman, gets it into the half court, and will back up Roseburg's defense. Bannery picked up his dribble. Having to come help him was Anderson. Anderson passes it away. Driving in is Lemley. He'll kick back out to Bannery. Thought about the right wing three. Doesn't take it. Nearly traveled. Pass it away to Anderson at the top. Devin Anderson trying to work against Marsters. Drives in right side. Back out to Bannery. Backs it out from the right wing. At the top, kick left side, Lemley to the free throw line. Wanted the pick and roll, wasn't there. Out to the far side, Anderson driving baseline. Dump it underneath, Kitzhaber. They lost him in the defense, and they dump it over the top for an easy 2. Roseburg quickly in transition. Boston Williams will get his first field goal of the night. And it's a quick 2 on the other side for Roseburg to stretch it back out to a 10-point lead, 43-33. 1:27 to play, third quarter. One-handed pass right side to Anderson. Anderson to the top, gets it to Lemley. Around the screen, Lemley will get it back to Anderson. Williams had to fight through the screen and got back out to the top. Roseburg going with a zone defense. Driving in, the clutch in midair move by Joey Bannery, and he's able to lay it in from right in front. 2 points there. Driving in, once again, it's Marsters trying to get right to the rack from the left side. Had it knocked out of his hands, and Roseburg will get it back. 43-35, 8-point game. North Eugene trying to keep it a single-digit deficit going to the fourth quarter. McInnes will come back in for the Highlanders. Bannery and Kitzhaber will check out. Inbound pass goes to Mendoza, and he airballs a three. I comment about how he'd been perfect, and he misses badly on a three. On the other side, the outlet quickly getting up the floor was McInnes for an easy lay-in for two. 43-37, back to a 6-point game. North Eugene making their run to try and get back into this going to the final period. Stedman out to Mendoza, who will bring it out, tries to attack, goes with the Euro step, and he gets hammered by Cade Johansson. The big man with a big old right arm slapping across Micah Mendoza, sent him to the hardwood, and Mendoza will go to the free throw line for 2 shots. 5 team fouls for both sides. And Mendoza's first free throw does drop in. Micah Mendoza with now 4 points here in the period. Tonight's game brought to you by Mahalo Heating and Air Conditioning. You can get 0% financing now for 72 months on approved credit at Mahalo Heating and Air. Second free throw did not go through for Mendoza. Stays a 7-point game. 24 seconds to play third quarter. Sims will come to get it out at the top at the center circle. Marked by Williams. Driving left side, but retreating back out as the defense cutting him off. 14 seconds to play. Stedman will chuck him out at the top. Driving to the free throw line. Got a screen. And knocked out of his hands. A slap across the wrist by Roseburg. Johansson came out and set a screen right in the middle of the lane to try and get Ethan Sims free. But as he tried to go up with the shot, got slapped across the wrist. That'll be the third foul against Jace Wilder. 6-team foul against Roseburg. And at the line with 2 shots is Ethan Sims, and he misses the first. Roseburg basketball this season on the Score, also sponsored by Fisher's Hearth and Home, serving Douglas County for over 30 years with the largest selection of wood, gas, pellet, and electric stoves and fireplaces in the area. Second free throw does spin around and drop through for Ethan Sims. 44-38, Roseburg on the quick outlet. Pass by Mendoza is tipped out into the backcourt, and that is going to end the third quarter. 44-38, Roseburg in front as we go to the fourth quarter. Here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
We are Douglas County Farmers Co-op, but we're not just for farmers. We serve all residents of Douglas County because we are Douglas County. Stop by today for everything from a tank of gas to a bite to eat anytime you're hungry. Pick up something for yourself, your home, and those you care for. Celebrating 100 years of service, Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Good people, good products, and good advice.
Hey there, sports fans. It's Joey Kieran with the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. We're bringing you more local sports content as we change up our weekday sports lineup. We've got the Bald-Faced Truth with John Canzano, noon to 3 every weekday. And then from 4 to 6 is the James Crepia Show. More local sports talk here on Douglas County's home for sports, the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Roseburg will have the basketball to start out the fourth quarter. They lead this one 44-38. Final 8 minutes on the board, barring an overtime period. Danil Olsen with it out at the top, dribbles left side into the corner. Carter Stedman going to try the left side three. That one spins around the cylinder and coughs it back up. Stedman can't get it to fall. He's 1 for 3 from behind the arc. Roseburg leading by 6. Their largest margin has been 10. 7.5 to play in this one. Out at the top, it's Elias McKinnis with it, marked by Williams. Pass it right side. A deep 3 by Sims is not going to fall. And he continues to struggle from behind the arc. On the other side, Williams wants the 3. Boston shot too strong. High rebound, juggled around, and finally pulled down by North Eugene. Sims will bring it up the floor. Jab step left, goes right, and in coverage is Keegan Cleary, and he'll pick up his first. And that, I believe, is going to put the Highlanders into the bonus. Yep, 17 fouls against Roseburg, first against Cleary, and now we'll go to 1-and-1s here for the Highlanders. The rest of the way, they'll have free throws. 5 team fouls against North Eugene, so Roseburg close to the bonus, but not there yet. First free throw, Sims will get it to fall. 5-point game. Tonight's contest also sponsored by Flyaway Travel. Contact their travel experts for your travel plans. 672-5701. 2 free throws fall through for Ethan Sims. And North Eugene will get the first 2 points of the fourth quarter. Jace Wilder nearly had it stolen away. Pass out to the top is taken away. Here goes Sims right to the rim. Draws a lot of contact, and Keegan Cleary once again can't believe he gets called for another foul. It looked like it was either going to be Cleary or it was going to be somebody else. That one looked like it was destined to head to the free throw line. 1 minute, 4 seconds ticked away so far here in the fourth quarter, and already the second trip to the free throw line for Ethan Sims. This time he misses the first of 2. Gets the automatic 2 this time because it was a shooting foul. He'll get the second. Makes it a 3-point game, though, 44-41. This one not in control yet by Roseburg. In the middle, tied up. Boston Williams got caught, and a jump ball called. It'll go to North Eugene. The Highlanders starting strong here in the fourth quarter, much like they did in the second quarter. In the half court, pass up to Sims, bounces to the free throw line. Anderson traveling through the lane, kicks it out to Vaughn, tries the 3, no good. Tip up by Johannes on the rebound, and it's an offensive board for the Highlanders. They'll get a second look at it. They hold here, 6:25 and counting. Sims got free, driving right side, but he's too strong as he forces up the shot. And the rebound pulled down by Roseburg, but in transition, they lose it. North Eugene comes up with it. Sims, left wing against Williams, drives to the free throw line. Jab right, goes with the scoop shot, misses, gets his own rebound. That's no good. 2 attempts by Sims off the mark, and Roseburg comes down with the defensive stop. Up the floor comes Stedman. Pass right side, Williams into the corner. Olsen, a 3 from the right side. Short, clanks off the iron, off the glass, and into the hands of North Eugene. Far side with it. Anderson had a clean look at a 3. Instead, he'll drive with his defender got in the air. He misses the lay-in. Fighting underneath, Johansen, gets tied up, and Roseburg will get the arrow on the possession for the jump ball. Both teams are going to look back at the tape on this one and say, we missed a lot of chances in this game from right in front of the rim, and we got to start hitting more lay-ins. Ben Pike, Carter Stedman, Boston Williams, Danil Olsen, and Jace Wilder on the floor for Roseburg at the moment. Wilder feeds it down to Olsen, driving through the right-handed hook shot. It rolls off, no good. Another one that's right in front of the rim. They're going to kick themselves about. Step back, drive in. Vaughn will get hit by Wilder as he tried to attack. Wilder swiping at it. Doesn't agree with the call, but it's going to send Derek Vaughn to the free throw line, where he is 3 for 4 on the night. And he's got a chance to make it a 1-point game if he can hit them both here. 5:24 to play in the contest, and North Eugene fighting back. First one does go through for Vaughn. Roseburg basketball sponsored by Roseburg Honda. You buy in a car, that can be a hassle, but at Roseburg Honda, it's different. Customer satisfaction is their highest priority. Visit Roseburg Honda, where they treat you like family because they are family. Colton Marsters comes back into the game for Roseburg. Second free throw by Vaughn is no good. Rattles around and off. And picking up the defensive board was Ben Pike. Stedman will bring it up. Gets it to Olsen, calling for it. He drives in. His jumper from 12 feet. It's a little flat. Hits off the iron. Up the floor comes North Eugene. A chance to tie. And they will. Devin Anderson ties it up with 5:02 to play. 44 all. On the shot by Anderson. And a whistle going to stop the action. Timeout taken. Well, here comes North Eugene. They make a run. They're on a 6-0 run to start the fourth quarter. A timeout taken. We'll do it as well. A 30-second break. We are tied at 44 with 4:52 to play in this one on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Home crowd starting to get back into it here as they've got a tie ball game. Their Highlanders a chance to try and get back and win this one. Colton Marsters has it after the Roseburg timeout, driving baseline, and his lay-in from the left baseline is no good. And down with it is North Eugene. 4:28 and counting. Bannery with it, pass to Anderson. Left of the key, out beyond the perimeter. Going to drive against Marsters. Gets stopped at the left elbow. Hands it off to Sims. Kicks it into the corner. Jonas Spencer got free. He'll lay it in. And with 4:12 to play, North Eugene takes a 46-44 lead. And on the other side, it's a turnover by Roseburg. North Eugene, their first lead since the second quarter. Roseburg led by as many as 10 in the third. But here in the fourth, it has been all Highlanders. They're on an 8-0 run to start the period. Out to the far side, Bannery. No-look pass into the corner. Sims, travel. He tried the spin move, got tied up, but he gets called for the travel before. So Roseburg will get it back here. A 2 to tie, a 3 to take a lead. They'll try to work it up the floor quickly. Marsters with it, right wing against Sims. Tried the quick jab step. Doesn't get the defense to bite. They'll pass left side. Pike sets a screen for Stedman. Tries to roll. It's not there. Wilder to the near side. At the right wing with it is Marsters. Set up in the corner is Fullerton. We haven't seen much of him so far in this fourth quarter. Back into the game for Roseburg. Out to the top, Wilder. Gets it to Marsters on the right wing again. Marsters, quick step, drives to the right side. And it's a blocking foul before the shot by Marsters. That'll make it 16 fouls against North Eugene. Not yet to the bonus for Roseburg. But this will be 5 fouls against Jonas Spencer. The sophomore will foul out here in the fourth period. Johansson checks back in for the Highlanders with the foul out. A 3 by Fullerton, no good. Underneath, Pike fighting for the rebound, tipped it out, but he could not get it to a teammate. North Eugene has it, leading by 2, 3:12 to play in the contest. Bannery gets it out between the circles, dribbles right side against Stedman, using that offhand to really keep Carter Stedman at a distance. Pass into the middle to Vaughn. He makes a contested lay-in with a little bit of English. Derek Vaughn drops one in. It's a 4-point game, 48-44. North Eugene had led by only as many as 5 as a handoff to Marsters is stolen away, and up the floor goes Ethan Sims with an easy 2. And it's now a 6-point lead, largest of the game for North Eugene. They are on a 12-0 run to start the fourth. A long 2 by Fullerton will stop it. Hunter Fullerton gets Roseburg a much-needed bucket. They're back within 4. Driving right side, Bannery, one-handed pass out to Vaughn. He gets the three in. North Eugene is feeling it here in the fourth quarter. They lead 53-46. Roseburg quickly up the other way, and drawing a foul will be Hunter Fullerton. And that'll put North Eugene at 17 fouls, and Roseburg will get into the bonus. And that'll put Hunter Fullerton at the free throw line. He's shooting 2. Fullerton trying to cut back into this deficit. It is a 7-point game, and the first one no good. Tonight's game brought to you by Tim's Appliance and Mattress at the corner of Lane and South Stevens in Roseburg. 0% financing is always available. $12-0 run to start out the fourth quarter for the Highlanders. And Roseburg finding themselves on the wrong end of this one here. 2 free throws, no good. Rebound will stay with Roseburg. Trailing by 7, their largest deficit of the contest. Fullerton gets it, catch and shoot 3 on the inbound, clanks off the right iron, short, rebound, push, going North Eugene way. And the foul will walk him to the free throw line, now into the double bonus for the Highlanders. What a turn it has been here in the fourth quarter. Roseburg's gone ice cold at the wrong time. Bannery at the free throw line will miss the front end of 2 shots. Roseburg basketball also sponsored by B&D Meats. Whether it's for one or for many, B&D Meats in Winston has you covered. Bannery gets 1 of 2. 54-46, 8-point game. North Eugene continues to stretch it out to their largest margin. A long 3 and a foul on the shot by Marsters. It's Johansson that'll get called for the foul. And that'll send Colton Marsters to the free throw line for 3 attempts. And big free throws here for Roseburg to try and cut down on this 8-point deficit. Marsters misses the front end. He'll have 2 more coming here. Well, these are opportunities that really can't be passed up for Roseburg if they want to get back into this one. And now 0 for 2 at this trip at the line for Marsters. 1:51 to play. It is an 8-point game. Marsters' 3rd free throw looks short. It is. He fights, gets his own rebound. Will dribble out of pressure on the baseline. He goes right back to it, and he misses the lay-in. Just opportunities that can't be missed if you want to come back after the way they've started this fourth. Down to a minute and a half, and a foul called by Micah Mendoza. And Roseburg, unless something changes quickly here for them, they are going to let a road win slip through their grasp. Looked like they were going to go to 2-1 on the season with the way they were in control in the third quarter, but here in the fourth, it has been all North Eugene. Roseburg with just 2 points in the period. The first one goes through on the free throws by Ethan Sims. Here at the charity stripe in the fourth quarter, he is now 4 for 5. And he'll hit them both to stretch it to a 10-point game. What a swing for North Eugene. Roseburg on the other side tried to push it, and a pass into the middle picked off by Vaughn, and a foul called, and we'll walk it the other direction. And the foul called against Ben Pike for his second. This is an 18-2 run in the fourth quarter. What a... We just don't see that. Derek Vaughn at the line, hits 1. Now later on this season, Roseburg may look at this one on the schedule and say, that is one we'd like to have back. Second one no good for Vaughn. 57-46, an 11-point game, 1:26 to play. Marsters trapped on the baseline, out to Olsen, drives in, out to Pike for a three. The rainbow shot just grazes the front iron, no good. Marsters tried to save it inbound off of a North Eugene player. Up the floor goes Anderson, lays it in, 59-46. And on the outlet pass up the floor, North Eugene will get it back on the turnover by Roseburg. This one's starting to get pretty much to the point where it's all done but the shouting. Roseburg down by 13 after leading by 10 in the third quarter. Inbound to Banry in the backcourt. Across the timeline. Banry to the right side to Anderson. 1 minute to play. Roseburg not fouling yet. Banry dribbling away from pressure. And North Eugene just playing keep away at the moment. Roseburg down to 50 seconds to play. Running out of time. Pike almost with the steal. North Eugene keeps it. Banry will back it out to the center circle, working against Olsen. Passes it away to Vaughn, down to 40 seconds to play. And the North Eugene faithful that have been here all night starting to send out their applause. And a 5-second count against North Eugene. No, timeout it looks like called, I think. Nope, they will call the 5-second count. I thought maybe Coach Blake Gee calling the timeout. 31 seconds to play in this one. Roseburg trailing by 13. Stedman pass it to Marsters on the right wing. Jab step left, back it out in the corner. A fadeaway three is off the mark by everything. And down with it is North Eugene. Highlanders probably just going to wear off the clock here. Derek Vaughn with it. 14 seconds to go. And it's all done but the final buzzer here tonight. Roseburg going to lose a game they could have had. Trap being played. Johansson, nearly turned it over. There it is. 59-46. In the fourth quarter, a 21-2 run by North Eugene. And Roseburg will suffer a tough one here on the road, losing by 13 after leading by 10 in the third quarter. Final score, 59-46. And it is North Eugene, the winners, who will go to 2-2 on the year. Roseburg falls to 1-2. We'll come back with the post-game show after this 2-minute break to wrap things up for you here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
We are Douglas County Farmers Co-op, but we're not just for farmers. We serve all residents of Douglas County because we are Douglas County. Stop by today for everything from a tank of gas to a bite to eat anytime you're hungry. Pick up something for yourself, your home, and those you care for. Celebrating 100 years of service, Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Good people, good products, and good advice.
I am a nurse,
a firefighter,
a college student,
a mother,
and I am an American soldier.
I will always be ready
for every storm
and disaster that threatens my community.
I will always be there to protect my neighbors,
my family,
and my country.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
We are the Army National Guard.
Visit nationalguard.com to learn more about part-time service.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
As a doctor, I kept myself safe from COVID by following all the proper protocols. Then I visited my family, and we all got COVID. I debated getting the vaccine since I gained the COVID antibodies. I changed my mind because I learned the antibodies may not offer full protection. But getting the vaccine after COVID can help prevent you from getting sick again. It also lowers your risk of getting someone else sick. So whether you've already had COVID or you're still unvaccinated, please get the vaccine.
Well, a heartbreaker tonight here from North Eugene High School as the Roseburg boys fall 59-46 against the North Eugene Highlanders. Roseburg led by 10 in the third quarter, but were outscored 21-2 in the fourth period as North Eugene storms their way back to win this one. Took the lead for good with 4:12 to play in the ball game and never gave it back. Boy, tough game here. Roseburg had led pretty much most of the game. North Eugene had pulled ahead by 5 in the second quarter, but it was a short-lived advantage. They had started out on a 9-1 run in the second quarter, but Roseburg battled back and would finish the second quarter on a 13-3 run to take the lead going into halftime. And they would hold it all the way through the third quarter, leading by as many as 10 in the third period, on top 44-38 going to the fourth quarter. But then they go ice cold and couldn't make a bucket. And on the other side, North Eugene catching fire, finishing 21-2 in the fourth quarter for the 59-46 victory over Roseburg. North Eugene will go to 2-2 on the year. Roseburg falls to 1-2 on the season. Let's take a look at scores from this one. I'm missing 2 points for Roseburg. This much I know. We'll get you the official scores posted online at 541radio.com. But here's what we've got. Leading the way with 12 points was Colton Marsters. 9 points for Micah Mendoza. You had 7 points for Hunter Fullerton, 6 points for Danil Olson and for Carter Stedman. And you had 2 points in the ball game for Ben Pike and Boston Williams. On the other side for North Eugene, in double figures with 19 points is Derek Vaughn, 12 points for Ethan Sims, 9 points for Devin Anderson, 6 points for Jonas Spencer before he fouls out of the game, 5 points for Joey Banry, Ben Kitzhaber with 4 points, and 2 points for Elias McInnes. And those are your scorers in the game for North Eugene. A tough one here tonight. North Eugene will continue its season on Thursday when they take on Ridgeview. And for Roseburg, their next game is going to be against Mountain View on Friday at home at 6:45. More on that coming up here in just a little bit. But it's time now to name our Mountain Mike's Pizza Player of the Game. Mountain Mike's Pizza, the way it ought to be. Our Mountain Mike's Pizza Player of the Game tonight is going to be Hunter Fullerton. Finishes with 7 points. I thought he played some really tough defense out there and got a chance to start here tonight. He did struggle a little bit from behind the arc, but he definitely put some pressure helping stretch the floor. And he will be your Mountain Mike's Pizza Player of the Game here this evening. Your Mountain Mike's Pizza Player of the Game receives a $50 gift certificate to use at Mountain Mike's Pizza in Roseburg off of West Harvard Avenue by the 124 interchange with I-5 there by Roseburg High School. Well, a tough night to finish it out. Roseburg's freshmen won 50-47, the JV 77-64. But the varsity, looking like they were headed to a clean sweep here at North Eugene High School, couldn't finish it off, falling 59-46. Next one for Roseburg will be against Mountain View on Friday. We will not be there to broadcast that game. Home game, we've got some other stuff at the radio station that's going to take us away from being able to broadcast that game. So our next broadcast of Roseburg basketball is going to be on Saturday as they host Bend at 1:30 on Saturday afternoon. So that'll be our next broadcast, but Roseburg's next game Friday at 6:45 at home against the Mountain View Cougars. And that is going to pretty much wrap it up here for us from North Eugene High School. A tough one to swallow tonight for the Roseburg Indians. Want to say thanks to the North Eugene Highlanders for hosting us here tonight and a great ball game. Thanks to Athletic Director Russ Bolin, Head Coach Jordan Humphreys, and the entire Roseburg basketball program for allowing us to bring you another season of Roseburg basketball here on The Score. Want to say thank you to Brenton Cranford for the video production here on site tonight. And back in the studio, thanks to Ben Hill for the radio production here this evening. And as always, a thanks to you, the fan, for tuning in for tonight's broadcast, because, of course, without you, I'm just a guy sitting here talking to myself. I'm Joey Kieran. We'll chat with you guys coming up on Saturday afternoon. Our next broadcast of Roseburg basketball as they take on the Bend Lava Bears. It's a 1:30 tip-off time. That means 1:15 for our pregame coverage. We'll have it for you streaming live online at 541radio.com and right here on Douglas County's home for sports, The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.